Hey everybody, welcome along to Mantel Farm, and this week our objective with our hives is to check on a super of our WBC behind me, make sure they're starting to fill that up. Also we're hoping to see more eggs and brood. Our nucs, we're looking to see whether or not the one that was showing signs of supersedure last time, if you remember, whether or not they've actually achieved that and what's going on in there. Our other nuke with the Virgin Queen, we're hoping she's mated, and our Cedar National Hive, we're hoping to see signs of a mated queen. This is the one that was filling up, isn't it?
No.
Oh, that's not where you put it last time. I guess that's Mike who's moved that up there. You had it above the brood, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, that's fairly light. That one is pretty full.
It is, yeah.
I'm going to go back with the way I had it before.
Oh, what, have that one above the brood?
Yeah. And at the moment they're more or less ignoring that one, whereas
if they've got to pass through it.
If they've got to go through it to get to this one, then they can't really ignore it. By golly, this one's a bit heavy. Bit of capped stores, bit of capped worker brood, lot of pollen, sort of grey-brown mostly. That would be, I think, from brambles.
Is that fresh pollen?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's dry, isn't it?
Yeah. There's some that's had honey over the top of it, but that might just be a quick regurgitation of nectar while they run out and get some more. Right, so that's an old frame, so that's one we want to be rid of, really. It's also got the wrong top bar on it.
So we're going to donate these to our nucs? We're going to
donate these to both of our nucs. Last year there was a very long gap between the summer flow and the ivy coming in.
Yeah. And
some of my colonies got very hungry in that space. So basically the June gap moved from June to July, August and September, and then the ivy started bearing and it was all back to rushing about and collecting stuff again. But you know, there are no guarantees. You never know what's going to happen with the weather and beekeeping, so that's a possibility that we must bear in mind. But,
they've capped those stores on the top, haven't they?
Yeah, they've capped the stores at the top. This side again, we've got some silver, we've got eggs, we've got larvae. Yeah, so I mean, it all looks pretty
good,
much as it ought to.
So the new frames that we put in, have you got a position in mind you'd want to put them into?
Basically, they're best put between two frames of sealed something.
Right, okay.
So sealed brood or sealed stores are equally good on that count, because they won't extend, well, unless they feel they really have to. They won't extend sealed stores, and they certainly won't extend sealed brood cells into the space where the foundation should be drawn into. So that sort of should work. See, I mean, that one's, I mean, it's not a bad frame, but it's got a lot of pollen in it, which is basically clogging up the place. Very little brood, which is consequently quite patchy.
And that's not the fault of the queen, that's just that the frame is loaded.
It's just the frame is full of stuff already and she can't lay on it, and that side is better because it was emptier before when she got round to laying in it. I would hope that if we put the empty frames directly over the brood, as we did 2 weeks ago, before somebody swapped them round, they would then be encouraged to fill them up with some of the stores that they're now presently packing away in the brood chamber.
Yeah.
Bald brood there, which...
So that's these two here.
Yeah, there's another half a dozen sort of up more towards my right hand.
But nothing to be
But I'm not overly
majorly concerned.
I don't know. Sometimes it's wax moths and sometimes it's just happens, I think. I don't know.
So even that one, they're filling the emerged cells with nectar, aren't they?
Yeah.
So there's most definitely a flow.
Oh yes, there's definitely a flow on.
They really are bringing the propolis in now, aren't they?
Yeah, and that seems to be different strains of bee, because I have some in my apiary that have been in the same box for a while and they've hardly a sign of propolis anywhere, and others have glued everything together with it. And the thing is, with a new queen, usually they are extremely keen to lay. And this is a relatively new queen, but she's only been here for what, 3 or 4 weeks now, if that.
Well, she got going really quick, didn't she?
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see. But I mean, that's a case in point. That frame there's a lot of nectar being put in the empty cells.
And warming it up just makes them more attracted to it, doesn't it?
Well, I hope so. If it's stale and gone pale and granular looking because some of the oil has crystallised, which it does do, then very often they won't use it. They'll just chew holes in it.
Yeah.
And then when the rest of the sheet that they haven't chewed holes in has warmed up, they'll then draw that perfectly, and then you have a frame with big holes in it, which is, you know, apart from being unsightly, it's kind of an encouragement for queen cells to be built, because those holes are the sort of place they really do like to put a queen cell. I'm kind of tempted to leave this one in and take it out next week.
Would you move it out further?
I don't think so.
I'll
just leave it where it is. I mean, we're not going to throw it away. It's just going to give these a chance to emerge, because they're looking a bit grey, particularly in the middle on this side.
Yeah.
Which means they're going to emerge fairly soon, and we can do with the workforce to process the nectar.
You need the numbers, don't you?
Yeah, that's it. You know, you need the numbers. There's no two ways about that. You need the numbers. So maybe we'll just leave that one in for now. I'll just move this into the shade over here, because it's really embarrassing if you pick the woodwork up and leave the foundation
behind
line on the ground, especially on video. Blah, 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 blah. Basically 10 frames we brewed on, didn't we?
We did, yeah. Which is really good, isn't it?
So we've taken 3 out and replaced them with foundation, because we want new frames. Well, particularly going into the winter, I suppose, because winter is when it all tends to go seriously wrong. Right, so that's the one with
just the
pre-drawn frames that are empty, and the foundation in the middle. Right, so that one is pretty well full, but it's not capped except that little bit there.
Yeah.
The next one out is a lot fuller and slightly more capped.
So that super's looking rather good.
Yeah, that super's looking rather full and progressing really well. If only we can persuade the other one to get sorted out as well.
I mean, even if they just draw the frames out, it's useful, isn't it?
Yeah.
And this is looking a bit quiet, isn't it?
This is looking very quiet. I think something's happened here. Yes. Oh, I've got 2 worker bees in here.
Oh,
3.
Yeah, 3.
Maybe that one just is a robber from somewhere else. Yeah, it's been chased off. And we've got, again, nothing on that one. We've got a couple of emergency queen cells on that next one, and neither of them emerged.
And they're on their own. They're not even being tended to.
No, I think something's gone seriously awry here.
So would you say these have collapsed, possibly?
I would say yes, they're kind of dead, I think. Looks like they've just finished the cells and gone, left.
That's very odd. I mean, there was a big question mark over them last time we looked, but there were bees in here.
It's a pain. Right, let's have a look in a queen cell or two. Just about finished.
Just hardening up, aren't they?
That one is still
just on the point of...
Just on the turn from larva to bee shape. Anyway, there you go.
So really, this hive's...
This one's gone.
So do you think that's because there were just too few bees here and they've just...
I don't know. I mean...
Because there were definitely bees a week ago. Not many, but there were bees. And they did seem to be resident bees. We didn't see any sign of robbing. I mean, there's not really robbing going on at the moment, is there? Because there's a flow on. Well, we won't be donating anything to these.
No. Donations are cancelled.
This is looking promising. We've got bees in and out. So we're hoping to see eggs or some brood in here, because...
Well, it should do.
They had a virgin queen last time we looked.
Oh, this is the one that we were worried about, isn't it?
It's had the odd... So that's
the dead...
Probably a frame to get rid of, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's definitely a frame to get rid of.
Let's find
check
the queen's
not on it.
I mean, they've cleared a lot of it off, haven't they? But
there's still dead larvae. There's one there that's obviously dead and dried up. Even these ones here that you can see that are still fairly wet, you know. Inside, they're obviously not right. They're the wrong colour and they don't look right. This will give them a workforce quite soon as well. We've got, in this one, we've got some young larvae, we've got a little bit of sealed brood. But, I mean, the larvae look different. They're the right colour, they're the right sort of consistency.
And they are bringing in new pollen, aren't they? This is new, yeah.
There's a few eggs in the top centre of that one. So, yeah, we look like
we've got a laying queen.
Got a laying queen in here.
So all being well, this colony could bounce back quite well.
Yep.
So we've looked in all of our hives. WBC's looking fantastic. Loads and loads of cap brood. We've robbed 3 frames out of there to give them 3 new frames of foundation. Remember, there's a lot of nectar in those frames and some capped brood, so they are actually of really good use for our nuke with our virgin queen or our possibly newly mated queen, so that they've got some more bees soon to hatch and they've got an abundance of nectar and pollen to use right away. So manipulating those super frames, moving them in, taking the ones from the middle that are getting filled with nectar further out to encourage the bees then to use the maybe undrawn foundation, fresh frames with foundation on, or drawn foundation further into the middle, and to allow the bees to fill them up. So all being well, the weather will be on our side in a week, and Roger and I will be taking another peek in these hives to see what's happening, and we'll keep you updated, of course, if there's anything else that occurs. Let us know if there's anything you want us to cover, anything you want us to talk about, any questions that you have, leave them in the comments below this video, and all being well, we'll see you in a week's time. So all the best from Mantel Farm. Take care.